Welcome to Wrestler of the Week, week number 5. It pretty much works like this. If you are a professional wrestler and you made the most impact over the past 7 days, you will be named Wrestler of the Week. Every week, points will be tabulated, and whoever has the most points at the end of the calendar year will be named Male and Female Wrestler of the Year. The Royal Rumble is fully behind us as we are officially on the road to WrestleMania, but we have a lot of shows before we get there. WWE Elimination Chamber, NXT Vengeance Day, AEW Grand Slam Australia, and even TNA Sacrifice. So let's see what's up in the world of professional wrestling. First, the women and some honorable mentions. I'm really interested in this potential heel turn with Kalani Jordan, as it seems like Jada Parker is really pushing her towards the dark side. The forever Ring of Honor Women's World Champion Athena would defeat Carolina Cruz in a Ring of Honor Women's World Title Proving Ground match. It feels like something is brewing with Io Sky, as it seems like there is a relationship brewing between her and Rhea Ripley, and please, let this lead to a WrestleMania match between the two. And finally, we have Stephanie Vaca, who not only defeated JC Jane on this week's NXT, but made a bold statement as she walked around the NXT parking lot and no one fucked with her, as she declared that Fallon Henley's North American title reign is about to end. And I believe that shit. And here are the top 10 wrestlers of the week for the women. Kicking off the list for the women this week is Victoria Yuzuki of Marigold for defeating Misa Matsui to retain her Marigold Superfly title. The number 9 spot this week for the women belongs to Ring of Honor Women's World Television Champ Red Velvet, who would defeat Robin Renegade to retain her title on Ring of Honor on Honor Club. Coming in at the number 8 spot is Savannah Evans, who would win the TNA Knockouts World Title number 1 contendership battle royal, and she has a shot against Knockouts champ Masha Slamovic on this week's TNA Impact. Speaking of making an impact, Cora Jade, who comes in at number 7, made an impact herself, violently interrupting the three-way meeting between Bayley, Roxanne Perez, and Julia on NXT with a baseball bat, taking all out and even turning on friend Roxy as Charlotte Flair watched in amusement. Jade also continued her feud with Masha Slamovic for the TNA Knockouts title as well, while also making an enemy of Xia Brookside. We have a tie at number 6. Marita Shafir, the current and reigning Defy Women's Champ, would defeat Zamaya at Defy 100th to hold on to her title, while La Hidera would team up with Mr. Iguana to win the AAA World Mixed Tag Team titles against Crazy Steve and Havoc. At the number 5 spot this week is Kenzie Page of NWA, who would successfully defend her NWA World Women's title against Haley J on NWA Power. Feel the wrath! The amazing Harley Cameron comes in at number 4 this week for the women, and between her first ever AEW win and her musical and puppeteer performances on Dynamite and Collision that basically goaded Mercedes Moné to put up her TBS title against Cameron in her home country, she has quickly and effortlessly found a niche character that works for her, and she has a new fan in me. We have a 3-way tie at number 3 between Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, and Alexa Bliss, who all in different capacities would win qualifier matches to participate in the Elimination Chamber in Toronto. The Queen and the 2025 Royal Rumble winner Charlotte Flair arrives in the runner-up spot, and she had a busy and noteworthy week, as she was booed out of Raw, while Rhea Ripley dared Charlotte to challenge her at WrestleMania 41, was cheered on NXT as she considered challenging Julia for her NXT Women's title, and then got mixed reactions on SmackDown, where she and WWE Women's Champ Tiffany Stratton dressed down each other. I think I know where this story is going, but it was no less a busy week for the Queen. And the female wrestlers of the week for week number 5 is a tie between embittered rivals, AEW Women's Champ The Epic, The Glamour, Mariah May, and Timeless Toni Storm, who really kicked off their feud leading into Grand Slam Australia, as Toni would give an entertaining cosplay as the AEW champ on Dynamite, while May would respond in kind with a delicious squash against Shay Carmichael on Collision, culminating in a wild brawl between the two. I am ready for this match at AEW Grand Slam Australia. And now to the men and some honorable mentions. A-Town Down Under would win a major NXT main event tag team match against NXT champ Obafemi and Trick Williams. Mike Santana would win a big match against Matt Cardona on TNA Impact. Pretty Deadly would defeat WWE Tag Champs DIY on SmackDown for a future tag title shot. JDC, the former Fandango, would make an appearance on NXT to challenge Lexis King for the Heritage Cup, and Solo Sikoa would make a grand return on WWE SmackDown at the end of the show, taking out Cody Rhodes. And here are the top 10 wrestlers of the week for the men. Kicking off the list for the men is Neon from CMLL for winning the Reyes del Air 2025 Torneo Cibernetico match, defeating 11 other competitors in the process. We have a tie with a couple of tag champs coming in at number 9. The NXT tag champs Fraxium continue to roll as they would defeat Nick Nemeth and Ryan Nemeth to retain their NXT tag team titles on Impact, while Los Hermanos Chavez, Angel Del Oro, and Nabila Roja would retain their CMLL World Tag Team titles against Flip Gordon and Neon at CMLL Lunes Clásico, and their current reign as of this episode is at a staggering 1,113 days. We have a new Defy World Champion coming in at number 8, as Ricky Starks would defeat Kenta at the 500th to win the title. Main event Jey Uso is in Wrestler of the Week, coming in at number 7 for having a busy post-Rumble win week, interacting with Gunther on Monday Night Raw, and being all over SmackDown, including winning the tag team main event between him and WWE Undisputed Champ Cody Rhodes against Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu. We have new AAA World Mixed Tag Team Champs in La Hidera and Mr. Iguana, who come in at number 6 this week for defeating Crazy Steve and Havoc at AAA Sierra de la Guerra Orgiens. Matt Riddle remains the MLW World Heavyweight Champion after defeating Alex Kane and Satoshi Kojima in a triple threat match at MLW Superfight 6, and that lands him at number 5 this week. We have a tie at number 4 for arch rivals Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, who, funny enough, would win qualifier matches for the 2025 Elimination Chamber on Raw and SmackDown respectively. Punk defeating Sami Zayn in a great first-time matchup, and Drew pushing back against LA Knight and Jimmy Uso. Coming in at number 3 for the men is the current New Japan World Television Champ El Phantasmo, who would defeat Jeff Cobb in a hell of a no count out match to retain his coveted title. The runner-up spot this week belongs to forever frenemies Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for reigniting their feud, as Owens basically went ham on Zayn for his non-involvement in the WWE title ladder match between KO and Cody Rhodes at the Royal Rumble. At the end of Raw, after CM Punk defeated Zayn in a great Elimination Chamber qualifier match, KO would come out of nowhere and viciously attack Zayn, culminating in a package piledriver. The build for these two going into WrestleMania is going to be fire. Feels like that these two are going to do this forever. And the male wrestler of the week for week number 5 is TP Ricochet, who on AEW Dynamite scored the biggest win of his career, defeating Swerve Strickland in a great main event, then would make a surprise appearance at the 500th before being chased off by the most dangerous man in AEW. It feels like Ricochet has really found his footing in AEW, and I am really enjoying his work. And now the standings for the men and women for week number 5. What did you think of my choices for male and female wrestler of the week? Do you agree or disagree with my choices? Share your thoughts, leave your comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you can get notifications as well. Thanks a lot, everyone. Take care.